Welcome back to the channel. My name's Alara Keet, and I'm just a girl from the suburbs who practices crystal healing.
And I'm Vera Way, an unassuming lady who accidentally signed up to Alara's crystal healing workshop.
And we're the Patio Dollz. If you're new here, welcome. We're just a couple of drag queens who spend our time doing DIY, design deep dives, skits, and all sorts of bits and bobs right here on the internet. Now that we've got your divided attention, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the video because the support helps us grow. While you're there, you can check out some of our other videos. I have hit the roof.
And on with today's video. Today we are doing a deep dive into some of the interior styles of the 1990s. It's actually amazing to see how many styles were crammed into one decade. A lot of people think the 90s was all bleak and brown, or full of celestial moons and stars and shit. But when you really look at it, it was full of a lot of different things. And of course they were always featured in all the TV shows and movies we were watching.
Well, yeah, we probably never noticed it because we were off like licking batteries or something, or you remember like sniffing Sharpies for a quick high, like anything for a bit of a thrill back then. Actually, that would make a good idea for a video titled How to Get High on the Fly in the 90s, guy. It should be How to Get High on the Fly as a 90s guy. That works, right?
Yeah, oh, sure.
All right. Stay tuned.
Now, before we get stuck in, we want to be upfront with you and offer a bit of a disclaimer. Some of the images that we're going to show might not authentically be from the 90s, though where possible we've looked for authentic images.
Yeah, and one of the reasons for that is that back then film for cameras was quite expensive and there was usually only one in a household, and it's not like your mum was going to let you go take photos of your bedroom set up for no good reason.
No, people would actually think you're some kind of wacko if you did that.
Yeah, so it's hard to find pictures of just empty rooms that are completely set up. They were mostly just, what do you call it, like organic photos of you're in your room with your friends and your mum comes and takes a photo because it's a nice moment. So for this video, we're using a mixture of original authentic photos and also photos taken in current times, which are photos that people have taken of now of their rooms that they've set up inspired by the past. But we find those useful as well because the camera quality is clearer, you've got a lot more detail in the room, and plus people were able to just go and buy the resources and throw this shit together now a lot quicker and easier than back then. Back then you had an idea in your head of how you're going to decorate your room or your house or your space, and you just couldn't access all that stuff like you can today. So we feel that modern photos provide an opportunity to see what the room would have looked like had you had the money and resources to do it back then. And as a side note to that side note, if any AI images manages to slip through the cracks and you've clocked them and we haven't noticed they've made it into our mix, look, the thing is, we're not the brightest tools in the shed, so we haven't done that intentionally. Feel free to drag us in the comments about it. We'd love to hear it.
So first up, we're starting off with a style that was very common, country style cottagecore. Now this one wasn't my favourite, but it definitely was everywhere. The 90s cottage style, or as it's known today as cottagecore, was a blend of the English countryside and feminine farm aesthetics. This look used soft, earthy, warm tones, pine woods, home-style brick textures, and metal features. The use of creams, off-whites, and neutrals told the colour story of cottagecore, and there was a lot of pattern layering. Think plaid, gingham, stripes, florals, lacy crochet vibes, and I cannot stress enough, lots of pine. This style really exploded in the kitchen with prints on wall tiles like chicken motifs and other farm nonsense. If you were the type of person wanting to create this style, you would fill your space with lots of dry and or fake flowers in baskets. Or even just chuck 100 baskets on the top of your kitchen cabinets and call it a day. When it came to flowers, this style was big on daisies, sunflowers, lavender and roses. No kitchen benchtop was complete without ornamental but practical crap such as wire chicken egg holders, wooden bread bins, canisters and jars for everything from coffee to pasta. And don't forget the glass bottles that were filled with preserved vegetables that no one was allowed to eat. You might have had a special set of kitchen cupboard doors done in lead light glass with open shelving displays, dishes of the ducks wearing the little blue bows. And when it comes to your walls, you could throw up some wood plaques painted with folk art, those stick wreath things, decorative plates, baskets with flowers spilling out of them, bottom. And no country-style room was complete without the trusty letter rack.
I am quite taken aback by that little country girl painted on that plaque. Isn't she cute? I'd love to own that. Although I think that I think that one was in America, so I couldn't imagine the tariffs on getting her over here would probably have to cost a couple of arms and legs. So I think I'll just have to paint one myself.
Maybe we can do that on the channel. Stepping out of the kitchen and into the lounge room, don't think for 1 minute you are going to escape the pine trend, because here you would find an abundance of more pine furniture, inclusive of your coffee table, side tables, TV stand, and bookcases, accompanied by a floral, striped, or dotted couch with big fat armrests and a frilly bottom. Maybe you had some quilted wall art or a Darcy Doyle print. The windows were dressed with curtains that were either floral printed or simple greens, reddy burgundies, or neutral colours. Your coffee and side tables were appropriately dressed with doilies, more fake flowers collecting dust, and magazines from 3 months ago. And to add a touch of startle, you would also find life-size dolls that were permanently in a crying while leaning against the wall position for knows what reason. They were called timeout dolls and were permanently placed in a timeout. I guess the artist really hated kids. I actually remember seeing those in a shop as a child, and I actually thought it was a small child crying in the corner.
I remember seeing them in people's houses. I was terrified of them. I hadn't even seen horror movies, and yet I thought they were haunted. Or had I? Had I seen Child's Play? Something made me think that they would come to life.
No, you would have been too young.
I didn't trust them, that's all I know.
Moving on to the dunnies, you would decorate your bathroom in the same floral frilly including dressing up your toilet in frilly or fluffy attire, adding a bowl of potpourri on the sink. And if you're feeling frisky, why not throw in another bunch of flowers in a vase to collect dust? And maybe an ornamental candle or decorative soaps that no one was allowed to use. And no 90s country-style bathroom was complete without the scent of the Glade potpourri toilet spray in the air.
Moving on to 90s traditional country heritage. Now, while cottagecore goes for a light, airy farmhouse vibe, traditional country heritage tend to go for the deeper tones. It was all about making a regular suburban house feel solid, comfortable, but sophisticated. It was a mix of a maximalist aesthetic, often seen as a mix of 19th century European influence and 1990s comfort, focusing on creating a welcoming, layered, and durable family space. I feel like it's trying to be a sophisticated modern take on the country style. See, the country style lent into the past, whereas this was trying to be fresh and modern, looking towards the future. It leaned into deep hunter greens and rich burgundies. Instead of soft cottagecore florals, bold floral patterns were used, paired with classic honey, cherry, or walnut-stained finishes and brass-light fixtures and hardware. Deep-coloured floral or ivy wallpaper borders with scroll work ran along the tops of the walls. Sometimes you would find fake ivy draped over the cabinets, as well as heavy curtains with more pelmets. The perfect kitchen example of this style would be the Home Alone kitchen, which is basically the 90s traditional dream. It's got those classic cabinets paired with bold green tile countertops and busy floral wallpaper that makes the whole room feel super warm and saturated. From the red curtains to the matching dishware and cosy window seat, everything tuned with the theme. The same colour palette carried through to the living room, where you would lounge around on big fat couches or sectionals that were sometimes upholstered in the same fabric as the curtains. The overall vibe was to feel more structured and less messy when compared to cottagecore's homemade shabby farmhouse feeling. Decorative accessories included scented candles, framed family portraits, and collectibles displayed in china cabinets with a few nice houseplants to bring some life to the room.
Next up is something that really hasn't changed over time: coastal beach core. The coastal style leaned heavily into nautical motifs. It was laid back and comfortable, and it was like bringing a beach house style into your very own home. This style just mixed literal ocean themed decor with breezy natural textures to make the whole place feel like you were forever on a summer holiday. It had a real lived-in look that made it feel like you could walk inside with sandy feet and no one would care. This look used sandy or white walls with bluish and navy accents. And the decor was literally shells, ceramic dolphins, striped or patterned rugs, boat driving wheels, canoeing oars, lighthouses, ropes, and whatever else they could find at a jetty or on the beach. The furniture was solid wood in a weathered finish, driftwood grey, not too dark, not too light, or sometimes whitewashed and textured as if it looks like it was weathered by the sea. I'm surprised they didn't incorporate more mermaidy stuff. And with that, everyone seemed to have a blue couch for some reason, even if they weren't doing this theme. I know we had a big fat blue couch that I really didn't like. And even now, you can even see these couches all around the place. They just love to hang on. There was also a lot of surfboard paraphernalia, surfboard-shaped bookshelves and surfboard-inspired wall art, even literal surfboards shoved in the garden as a garden feature.
I remember a silly aspect to this oceany kind of trend was those the resin toilet seats that have like the fish and the sand and stuff in them. I think they still make them now. I think you still can get them. Comment below if you've still got one at home. Send us a photo. I loved them. I thought they were the epitome of, what's the word, sophistication. I thought that was money. I thought that was old money. I didn't know what old money was, but if I did, I would have thought that's old money. I thought that was a ritzy thing. And I remember just being so upset that we didn't have one at home. And I asked Mum for one. You'd always see them at the markets. She go, no, they're too expensive. It's a rip-off. Anyway, it's just resin with crap in it. Actually, another thing I did love about this whole beach and ocean obsession was all the dolphin stuff. You had your statues. It was all over your fashion. It was everywhere. But particularly the dolphin massager. And I know some of you out there watching have got one or had one back then. So let us know what you thought of it. Because I thought it was like a ritzy kind of, not ritzy, I don't know what the word is, but I thought it was like the height of sophistication. It was a show-off piece. People came round, you'd massage them with it. And now looking back, I'm like, it's just a lump of resin. Someone just filled molds and charges $30 a pop for these.
Yes, it was all about dolphins. Everything, prints, soaps, coasters, every single thing had a damn dolphin on it. Oh, actually, frangipanis.
Oh,
remember that?
Yes.
It was dolphins and frangipanis. Same thing, everywhere.
People would have like a picture frame like this big, literally just of a frangipani. Just like one frangipani, and they'd have them in a set of 3. I remember my mum had frangipani. She bought frangipani hair clips, and she built one for herself and my sister and some of my sister's friends. And I remember she was so proud to show them. And my sister was like,
And that also tied in with the blue and yellow and white colour scheme. Oh, and to go with that, you had the jelly candles. They're so special you couldn't light them. That's the thing. They ended up in the bathroom collecting dust. I think we had one for like a decade.
Yeah. It felt like a scam, like not on the person who made it side of things, but like for me personally on Mum's side, because in my mind, the logic was once you burn the candle, you get all the little trinkets inside. So it was like it was a win-win, but I wasn't allowed to burn the candle because it was special. Okay, next up is my personal favourite, which is Whimsy Goth /witchcore. Or celestial core. I think it's got a different names that I found on the internet. So we're just going to put all 3. Think of Whimsy Goth as the mysterious and spellbinding cool witch of the late 90s. It's basically what happens when you mix a moody goth style with a whimsy flair, spiritual curiosity, and a love for astrology. Whimsy Goth Celestial Witch Core embraced a deep royal colour palette that felt layered and flowy, making everything feel cozy, enchanting, and bewitching. This style blends 90s alternative culture with a mix of dreamy, occulty themes and celestial motifs. Focusing on cosmos, spirituality, and the supernatural, some inspiration was taken from TV shows and movies such as Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Charmed, and Practical Magic. Oh my God, the Charmed house.
I know.
I know I'm not alone in this. Everyone's obsessed with the Charm house, but you don't understand, back then, it was a real obsession.
Oh, yeah.
And I think because in Australia, you rarely saw those kind of Victorian houses, especially where I was from. There's not a single one in that town. And I remember like doing a Sydney trip with school once and seeing buildings like that. And what do? You scream, there's the Charmed house. It looks like the Charmed house. It was known as the Charmed house. Now, to get the Whimsy Goth Celestial look, you just needed to throw around a colour palette in the realm of blues and purples, deep warm reds and earthy greens, garnished with hints of gold or silver tones that bring a feeling of enchantment and provide contrast to the dark backgrounds. And if you really wanted to go the whole hog with this style, you better make sure there is absolutely no empty space on your walls. It's all about eclecticism and needs to feel like a magical hideaway, full of witchy treasures like rich tapestries, velvet drapery, sun and moon wall sconces, and other oddities like framed taxidermied insects and butterflies, and little pictures of mushrooms and shit. Bohemian furniture pieces made of natural woods and wrought iron, including arched bookshelves filled with books, candles and figurines lurked in every corner of the room. Adding apothecary cabinets filled with crystals, shells, bottles and flowers would make it feel like a real witch's workshop. And using beaded door curtains created a sense of wonder from the moment you entered the room. And finally, adding a sun catcher in the window captured and dispersed natural light elements, adding further whimsy. This look works best with lots of mood lighting, so you better keep that big light off. Stained glass and Tiffany lamps elevated this look, making your space feel otherworldly, while adding salt lamps told your visitors that you were spiritual and health conscious, while adding a warm but moody glow to the room. To add the final bit of sparkle, you would use metallic features like brushed painted gold or silver picture frames and brass figurines with a slightly weathered antique look. And finally, no celestial whimsy goth abode would be complete without an abundance of crystals, the smell of incense wafting through the air, and a stack of tarot cards in the corner just waiting to assume your future while predicting your past.
For the final part of this video, we're going to be looking into the Tuscan/Mediterranean revival style. And unlike the other themes in this video, this one felt like it was kind of reserved for the rich, as it is almost impossible to achieve the grandeur of it without knocking down your house and starting from scratch. Tuscany/Mediterranean look felt quite grand, and it was seen in a lot of high-end catalogues and restaurants. It was basically stolen from the Italians and Spanish's architecture, complete with Juliet balconies. It was kind of trying to bring an Italian villa vibe to the suburbs. This style was rustic, yet somehow theatrical because of its large-scale designs. And it felt like it was trying to be romantic, but in a ritzy-poo, fancy-pants kind of way. Think Gabrielle Solis's house from Desperate Housewives. The Tuscan/Mediterranean revival went for warmer, neutral colours and accents in earthy tones like mustards, oranges, terracottas, reds, and browns. The idea was to create a natural and organic feeling that was cozy, but somehow still make a statement that you were better than everyone else. Oh, I have to say, this style probably wasn't as common as the others.
No.
It felt more of like a fantasy rather than an actual possibility.
Yeah.
Even though this style fell out of reach for the everyday pauper, you could still find ways to trickle in Tuscan motifs to your sad interiors by painting your walls with mustard and nailing up some swirly metal wall sconces. Even just throw some fake grapes in a bowl and Bob's your auntie. Tuscan revival. The wood grains were typically darker, and you would find glass tabletops with ornate, fancy wrought iron bases. And if you really had the money to splash around, you could get stone or marble tables, which would have been great for tap dancing on if that was your cup of tea. The floors were either wood, ceramic or terracotta, with plush carpets in lounge rooms and bedrooms. A big part of the style were the walls. Sometimes it's textured paint look or even fake stucco. You'd have artworks that featured landscapes, rustic styles, mosaics and tapestries. Sometimes metal swirly shapes that felt like they were pried off someone's front gate. I think the decorating part of the style was pretty easy to achieve because you just needed some ceramic bowls or vases and urns filled with dry branches or fake flowers. Also floor and table lamps with warm yellow light giving you that romantic Mediterranean sunsetty feeling. This theme actually did slightly trickle into my family home when I was little, though in a more affordable way. We gave a mustard wall and some red...
Oh, I remember you did the sponge paint thing.
Yes, gave that a go.
I mean, we didn't know each other then, but the first time I went to that house, and I'm talking like, what was it, like 2013? And I look up and I see there was this red, was it red in the kitchen? Yeah. But there was only a section of wall that was like, what, this big?
Yeah.
Like a little narrow section of wall that someone had sponge painted red and then the other walls were mustard. And I remember going, I can tell when they did this. This would have been a good 10 years ago or more.
Well, actually, I think we were a little late to the party. That was the mid-2000s I did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, the kitchen was where this style really exploded with terracotta or ceramic tiled floors and timber cabinetry. Sometimes you had a decorative feature border tile in a leafy scroll design. And who can forget all the props? The fake grapevines, bottles, ceramic canisters, garlic braids, and overflowing fruit bowls. And somehow the rooster motif made its way into this style too.
You know, after looking at all that, it seems like the sponge wall thing kind of went across all the styles.
Yeah.
And I think it was everyone was trying to create texture on their walls because all you had to do was change the colour and do that spongy texture thing. Also, it kind of did feel like a lot of the styles, if you didn't have the money or the access to resources to go the whole hog with them, you kind of just had elements of them around your house. And I kind of didn't realise until now, because going through all these styles, I remember having the country pen holder, I remember having the whimsy goth candle holders. I mean, we had candles everywhere, incense, Enya playing on the stereo. So we definitely had our like spiritual side. Then we had our country style stuff. And then I don't think we had anything Tuscan, maybe a couple of because the candle holder thing I felt crossed over, where it's like you had the black wrought iron candle holders with the swirly things could fit in with Tuscan, but could also fit in with whimsy goth.
We had some traditional bits.
Oh, the couches, yeah.
The couches and the furniture in dark wood. Now, we know that there are more styles that we didn't feature in this video, but these ones really weren't commonly used in suburban households.
No, like you had your Memphis light, which was predominantly a big thing in the 80s, but had a resurgence in the 90s, but in more of a commercial way you saw in commercial spaces.
The other honourable mention of the style was that industrial loft style. That it was.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It came in the late 90s, and you'd see like visible ducts and brickwork and all of that. Very common now.
It's very like industrial shabby now.
Yes.
Every business, every cafe has like the exposed wiring and all the other dangers. But that was a cute little walk down memory lane, wasn't it?
It was gorgeous.
If you had to pick one style, which would you pick as your top favourite?
Oh, I think I'm going to say Tuscan. I think maybe because I grew up with bits of it. I don't know.
It's because it's romantic. Also, it's very European inspired, even your selection
Tuscan?
of dress. Well, I mean, like the roses and the flowers, this feels Italian.
Oh, thank you.
This feels like an Italian, look at your freaking hair, you look like Gina Liano. This is like an Italian woman in the 90s.
And thank you. And might I say, you look quite swell today as well.
Thank you. Well, this might be a hint to what my favourite style of the time is. I was going to say was, but it's still kind of, I just realised how high up this dress was like up. It's written up. So mine's like obviously celestial whimsy goth. I love spirituality. I'm a very spiritual person. And I have mentioned in a previous video that I will be starting my own psychic business where I assume your future while predicting your past. All you've got to do is sign up with your credit card and just send me a few pieces of information. You just need to write down where you grew up, your date of birth, your parents' names, what else, where you went to school, and just tell me any traumas that you have. And then I'd be happy to do you a reading. And most people find that I'm pretty accurate. But if I'm not, there is a disclaimer that I can't be sued. But no, I did love all the celestial stuff. I always loved she's fucking it up already. The whimsy and the magic. I was always interested in the supernatural. Of course, Charmed. Mrs. Charmed, Sabrina. We were influenced by it. Even we had Buffy. Every show that we watched had something to do with the supernatural.
Oh, it was amazing.
That, I don't know. And I just found it so beautiful. Like even the crystals, even if you don't think that like there's energy in them, they don't do anything. They're just pretty. Also, let us know. Did you have a favourite style and which one was it? Or was your home an eclectic mix of a few? Or more controversially, I'd love to see some comments talking about what was the most overrated style? Let's get some fights happening in the comments, guys.
Thank you for watching our video and supporting the channel as we grow. If you want to follow us on socials, you can follow us here.
Do you know what I'm in the mood for?
What?
After all that,
Yes.
I want to watch Charmed.
Yeah, all right, let's do it. Again.
We haven't watched it in years.
No, but let's do it. But we're not past season 3 though.
Why?
Well, Prue died.
Oh. Want more of us? Then subscribe to our channel and like the video so you don't miss out.
Plus, engaging with our content lets YouTube know that people actually want to see our stuff and helps our channel grow, all while championing the arts.